welcome. This is the Science Museum.
Nice.
It's over here. And we are here to look at John Harrison's clock, his land clock. His first one that he ever made, and it'll be awesome. My name is Caitlin.
And my name is Jill.
And this is
Sam.
Hi! We're so excited about going to the Science Museum. It's so
There's
big.
lots of construction. It was interesting to get here.
So many floors. So
Yes.
should be pretty fun. I hope we can find it.
Yeah.
Should be good. So we're on our way back down to the information desk because George Harrison's walk is not on display. Oh,
John Harrison.
George. Yeah. But so John Harrison's clock is not out where it should be. Like it's gonna be a big clock. Like it's the first thing you've built. It's made out of wood. Like it's large.
Yeah, and we've asked a bunch of people, and they have yet to.
We asked the man
Figure it
in the
out.
gallery, and he made a bunch of phone calls and talked people into walkie-talkie, and nobody knows where it is. So he told us to go and ask the information desk
Yes.
to run a search through the database to see if they.
We found a further clue in looking for John Harrison's clock. There's his name, and it's talking about the clocks. We have just gone down to the information desk, and they told us it's in this area of the museum, but we have yet to discover it.
Searching, we have finally found John Harrison's clock. It's right there. Not in the measuring of time section like they said, but actually in the making of the modern world section of the museum with many other brilliant. Unfortunately, it's in a case, so you can't really see it as well with glare, but that is the clock.
Joe, what do you think about it?
I think it's pretty sweet. It's a lot more decorative than I thought it would be, but because the sides are open, you can definitely tell about all of the wooden cogs that he used in order to eliminate the need for lubrication between the parts, so that because the woods that he chose exude a natural oil, so they keep themselves well lubricated, so it won't change depending on the temperature, because metals shrink and swell whether it's hot or cold, and the consistency of the lubrication also will change with temperature. So by using wooden cogs that are themselves fairly oily by nature, he eliminated those two issues, which allowed time to either be lost or gained with the clock in typical construction. Yes, he was also a carpenter by trade, so working with wood would have made more sense because that's what he's used to dealing with. According to the plaque, he built this when he was 22. I read that wrong. Yes. And this was the first clock he built. He had no formal training as a clockmaker. And so this was his first attempt. He made a second one very similar to it several years after this, and went on to create bigger and better things like H's 1, 2, 3, and 4, which were used in the attempt to find more precise longitude at sea.
And this clock would have had a pendulum underneath it, so this isn't actually, it can't be working right now, but it would be in a big case, and there would be a pendulum hanging down, which would keep the time.
They're kind of fuzzy.
I know, you're fuzzy all the time.
Okay. There we go.
Yeah, your camera is just special.
Yeah, it's special. Yeah, so we have a whole quest to try and find this.
Yeah, it was quite impressive, and now that our journey is over, we finally found it. To be honest, it's not as impressive as some of the clocks that we saw upstairs in the other cases. But
It's not even as impressive as the picture they showed us at the information station, because the one they told us we were looking for was this big ornate case with the pendulum all still attached.
Yeah, I don't know where the case and the pendulum went.
Yeah, they must keep them hidden somewhere, keep them safe. I don't really know, but a pendulum is the pendulum wooden too?
Don't believe so. I believe the pendulum was metal.
So that's weird that they don't have it on display.
Yeah, and one of his other intuitive innovations, that's the word I was looking for, was to use two different kinds of metal to counteract this shrinking and swelling, so that they balance each other out.
Weaved it in and out, so like ones that would grow and ones that would shrink would like end up being the same.
So that also helped it keep time a lot better.
We love John Harrison. Thanks for inventing clock,
Yes.
so we know what
The
longitude
better
we're on.
clock. Well, I think the cogs are what's really impressive about this. It's just
Look on top. Look on top. On top is awesome. I don't know if the camera will get it.
we can. Yeah, it doesn't translate as well in camera, but the top you can clearly see that the cogs are made of wood, and it's pretty impressive. Then we can also see from this angle here. That's not important. Or the other thing. It's important, but it's not important to us.
The locomotive engine.
Yes, but so there's another view of the cogs, and there's a picture of the man himself. And in that last view, you could tell that the cogs were super awesome. You can't really see it, but the grain of the wood sort of starts at the inside and works its way out, which also helps with the shrinking and swelling of the wood to keep that so that all of the spokes on the cogs mesh properly, and that the wood doesn't warp and render the clock useless. Yes, and
Okay, so while we were looking for all the other clocks, or for John Harrison's clock, I found this section that talks about longitude, and it talks about how he won the prize of 20,000 pounds. But then the coolest part was that we read this. If you look over at the far, keep going up, just go up. Right there, those two big clocks were chronometers that were produced after Harrison's clocks were developed, because his couldn't be developed in such mass quantities, and these ones could be produced for only 60 pounds, which was a lot cheaper than Harrison's clocks because they were so well made. So that's just interesting that once somebody figured out the technology, it was easy to just duplicate it into a cheaper thing, and then everyone could have their longitude, which is really cool.
Okay, so that concludes our presentation on John Harrison and his clock.
Yep, at the Science Museum.
Yes, and any additional facts came from this book, Longitude, that we read for class, and you probably didn't see because that man walked by.
Yes, and it was super fun looking through all the other clocks and then finally finding Harrison's clock, and then
on the wrong floor.
Yeah, in the wrong space. It was just chilling by itself in the middle of the museum. But that's okay, we found it. It was good. It was fun.
It was an adventure.
We learned a lot, and we saw other cool stuff while we were walking through, like Plastic City.
Yo ho, a pirate's life for me. We pillage, we plunder, we rifle and loot. Drink up, me hearties, yo ho. We kidnap and ravage and don't give a hoot. Drink up, me hearties, yo ho.